If something's on your mind, let it off, let it off. If something's on your mind, let it off. It's time for this week's On My Mind. Hey everybody, it's Kendell Lenice, and again, this is On My Mind. On My Mind is a weekly episodic series within Shine with Kendell Lenice. Typically, I'm speaking for 10 minutes or less to tell you what's been on my mind or some of the things that have been on my mind this week. So today I want to just talk about suicide and suicide prevention. And when you think that it's over, there's no hope, there's nothing left. And this week it has been reported that Tamar Braxton tried to commit suicide. And some people say, oh yeah, she's strong, she's too much, she's a lot, she's this. But those are typically the people who are really hurting inside. And even when they try to change, people won't allow them to change, and they don't see them for the evolution of what they're trying to become. And it's been reported that she's been having trouble, with her career as far as the choices and who she works for. They were talking about WeTV and the contracts and how she, said that she was being a slave and, just a lot of things. And I'm sure that's not the only thing. And I'm not here. I didn't talk to Tamar. I don't know what's really going on. I'm just talking about what's reported. But that's not the important piece. Excuse me. That's not the important piece. The important piece is about suicide and attempting to commit suicide. They said that she, this is her boyfriend reporting it, her live-in boyfriend, that she drank alcohol and she took several pills, and he found her body lifeless and rushed her to the hospital, and she was unconscious. So this is a thing. This is a real thing. And people might say, oh, she got all the money, she got fame, people know who she is. But sometimes, once again, those are the people that are really hurting the most. So before I continue on my rant, if you will, I'm going to give you the National Suicide Prevention Hotline. That number is 800-273-8255. That's 1-800-273-8255. And if you Google that number, it'll tell you that you can talk to someone immediately. So they're not going to put you on hold. It's not going to be automated. You're going to talk to someone because it's important. And for all of you who have ever thought about committing suicide or felt like you wanted to commit suicide, I just want to tell you that you're worthy, and this too shall pass. And you might need to just talk to someone and let it out. Sometimes when you keep everything inside, you think you're the only one that's experiencing it. It's really, sad, and you're depressed and you're feeling lonely and unworthy, and the hope is gone. Because if you're trying to commit suicide, you want the pain to go away, and you think that all hope is gone. You feel hopeless. Those are the two main reasons, in my opinion, as a life coach, that you want to commit suicide, or something's happened and you can't bear it anymore, and you don't want to face reality, or you don't want to hurt anymore. That's the thing. You don't want to hurt anymore. You have been hurt enough. You don't want to be hurt anymore. And friends, let me just reverse this. If you're trying to commit suicide, or you're even thinking about it, call the hotline, call a friend, call someone who truly, truly loves you and truly cares about you. And then on the flip side, friends and family members, if someone calls you, don't just brush past it like, oh, they're just saying that, they're crying wolf. Take them seriously. Because if you don't take them seriously, it could be too late. There are so many people saying, oh, I didn't know that they were hurting. Oh, I didn't think they were serious. They called me saying they wanted to kill themselves. I didn't think that they were serious. Even if you think they're joking, take them seriously. Even if you think they are whiners, take them seriously. Even if you think they are crying wolf, find out later that they were crying wolf. But try to assist. And even if you say, hey, if somebody calls me and says they want to commit suicide, I don't know what to do, call the hotline for them at 1-800-273-8255. Tell someone else. Because the sad part is, if they go through with the suicide and they kill themselves and they called you for help and you didn't take them seriously, that's something, unfortunately, I'm just going to put it bluntly, you're going to have to live with forever. And not saying that you're the savior and you can save, but you can make a phone call for them. That's the least you can do if they called you to tell you that they're in pain. That means that you matter to them and they should matter to you. People say it all the time. I say it all the time. Check on your strong friends. See how they're doing. See how their mental state is doing. See what they're feeling and thinking, and talk to them and take them seriously, and suggest therapy if they haven't suggested it. Suggest a coach, a life coach. Suggest a counselor. Suggest clergy. Suggest someone. Talk to them. Stay on the phone with them. Go with them if they need help to the doctor, to the therapist's office, or to make that call. Be on the third party call with them. Whatever it takes, because once you get through it, if you're the one thinking about it, once you get through it, you'll be able to talk about it to help others get through with it. Or through it. Not through with it. We don't want to say that, but through it. And it's so important to know that this too shall pass. It shall. It might not seem like it right now, but it will pass. Or if it doesn't pass, you'll grow and learn to live with it. You'll get stronger. You'll get better. You'll get wiser. If you know someone in crisis, and if that person is you, call the National Suicide Prevention Lifeline. It's so important that you do that. Or text the crisis line. You text hello to 741741. So I'm going to say that again. If you know someone in crisis, or if that person is you, call the National Suicide Prevention Lifeline at 1-800-273-TALK, and that's 8255. Or text the crisis text line at text hello to 741741. Both services are free and available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. They even have a deaf and hard of hearing contact lifeline at 1-800-799-4889. All calls are confident. Contact social media outlets directly if you are concerned about a friend's social media updates, or dial 911 in an emergency. And that right there is from the National Institute of Mental Health. And I'm glad that they say this on their line, because sometimes you'll see someone's tweets or text or Facebook post or Instagram stories, and you're like, I don't know, that person is tripping, or they're wilding, or they're talking crazy. You'll say stuff like that. Reach out to them. Or reach out to the confidential hotline for them and say, you know what? This is what's going on. But also for you veterans out there, the Veterans Crisis Line connects services and members and veterans in crisis, as well as their family members and friends, with qualified, caring Department of Veterans Affairs responders through a confidential toll-free hotline or online chat or text messaging. So that's also through that same number, 1-800-273-8255. But if you're a veteran, you will press 1 to talk to someone, or send a text message to 838-255 to connect with VA responders. You can also start a confidential online chat, and it has a link for that. So if you go to the National Institute of Mental Health, NIH, all that information is there for you. So suicide is a major public health concern, they say. Over 47,000 people died by suicide in the United States in 2017. It is the 10th leading cause of death overall. Suicide is complicated, and tragic. Pardon me, this is live. but is also preventable. Knowing the warning signs for suicide and how to get help can save lives. And I totally agree. And at any time they need me, I am going to be there, and I'm going to be there for you. So even if someone listening to this stops them from committing suicide, if my voice gives you hope, if someone loves you and they forward this particular On My Mind podcast episode to you, then I feel like I am doing my part. And friends and family members, you got to do your part too. Whatever it is, even if you repost this on your social media, even if you post something about national suicide, even if you post about checking on your strong friends, you know, I just wanted to take this moment in this On My Mind series, and normally it's 10 minutes or less, but to really talk about what's been on my mind. Thank you so much, everybody. And just really love on one another and let one another know that you love them and you're there for them. And even if you can't figure out the words to say, give a hug. You know, this is an important time. I know it's Corona time and quarantine time and, you know, COVID-19 and all of that. And people are having difficulties. People are really going through it now. So even more check on them, because some people are quarantined. They haven't seen anybody, haven't talked to anybody, and they are going through it. So just be mindful of that when you're happy in your life. Just be mindful that you need to check on other people to make sure they're happy too. And if they're not, then you can help them get help. But the hotline again is 800-273-8255. God bless. On my mind. Thank you so much for tuning in to this week's episode of On My Mind. Don't forget to subscribe to Shine with Kendell Lenice, which airs live every Wednesday at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Catch the playback where all podcasts are played. For more information about Kendell Lenice, visit livingtruelivingyou.com or ladymotivator.com. God bless.